Hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the video. Smoke Man Joe is back at it with the NFL Week 15 picks against the spread video. And guys, before I get into the Week 15 picks, I would like to shout out each and every one of you that took the time out to just comment, tell me happy birthday last week. And shout out to everybody that came into the live stream as well last Thursday. I really, really appreciate that, guys. It meant a lot to me. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. Shout out to everybody over on Patreon as well. And if you haven't already, follow me on Patreon, joepicks, That's where all my best bets will be for college football and all the bowl games the rest of the way, guys. I won't be making any videos for college football during bowl season, guys. So if you want my best bets for the bowl games, be sure to follow me on Patreon, guys. We're going to crush college football just like we're about to crush Week 15 here in the NFL. It's a lot of value this week, guys, in my opinion. A lot of teams have a lot to play for. Playoff implications on the line these last 4 weeks, and I think it's a lot of money to be made down the stretch here. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the Week 15 picks, guys. First game on the docket, Thursday night football. San Francisco 49ers traveling to Seattle to play the Seahawks. Right now, the Seahawks are a 3.5-point home underdog. And guys, what have I been saying about Seattle? You can't trust Geno Smith laying any points. But as an underdog here at home, guys, I think all the money's pretty much going to come in here on San Francisco. This is a letdown spot here, in my opinion. I like Seattle to cover, but San Francisco win this game, guys. I can see this being a 3-point game for the 49ers here, guys. I just think Seattle's not going to give up. They're going to fight, guys. And being at home, prime time, standalone game, I like Seattle. If you can get this 3.5 or 4, I like Seattle to cover, San Francisco to win. On to Saturday, guys. We got a triple header on Saturday. A lot of value in all three games, in my opinion. Each underdog here, guys, playing for playoff implications. The favorites are as well, guys. Those are the type of games I'm going to have my money on this week. If you're not playing for nothing, it's no way in hell I'm trying to back any team that's not playing for a damn thing this week, guys. First game up, we got the Indianapolis Colts, a 4-point road underdog, traveling to Minnesota to play the Vikings. And Minnesota let down last week. Everybody was on the Vikings. I was on Detroit last week. Indianapolis Colts coming off a horrible blowout loss to the Cowboys. And now they're coming off a bye week, only getting 4 points on the road against Minnesota. Playoff, they're probably out the way for the Colts, but mathematically, they're still in it. And if they can win out and get some help, they may very well sneak into the playoffs, even though I don't think that's going to happen. But here in this spot, only getting 4 points, guys, I got to believe they're going to come into this game fired up, trying to bounce back from that horrible performance against the Cowboys a couple weeks ago. And this Minnesota defense is not that good, guys. So I like Indianapolis to keep this game close, and it won't shock me, guys, if they somehow, some way strike the upset because the makeup is starting to come off this Vikings team, in my opinion. Yeah, they have an explosive offense, but this defense is going to be what hold the Vikings back in the playoffs and perhaps even in this game. With that, I like the Indianapolis Colts to cover the +4. Next up, my first official money pick in this video. We got the Baltimore Ravens, a 2.5-point underdog, traveling to Cleveland to play the Browns. And guys, what can you say about the Ravens? They picked up a huge win last week over the Steelers, but here in this spot, this is a letdown spot in my opinion, guys. Cleveland Browns coming off a bad loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. They're sitting at 5-8 right now. Playoffs on the line for the Browns as well, even though this is another team I don't think is going to make the playoffs, but it's going to come down to the last game of the season. And the Ravens have already defeated the Browns, guys. So I think this is a bounce back spot here for the Browns, especially with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. We don't know who's going to be quarterbacking for the Ravens, guys, and I think that's what's going to be the difference here. Yes, Baltimore has a stout defense, but so does the Browns, guys. The Browns' run game and their defense will be the difference here in this matchup, guys. I like Cleveland Browns to get to 5-8. 6-8 here in this spot. I like them to win this game on Saturday, guys. Take the Cleveland Browns to win and cover. First official money pick in this video. Next up, we got the Miami Dolphins, a 7.5-point road underdog, traveling to Buffalo to play the Bills. And man, Miami, they've been looking pretty down here the last couple weeks, guys. But this is where you want to back them. 7.5-point underdog on the road. I know Buffalo is playing with revenge, guys, but let's be honest. Buffalo is really not looking like the Super Bowl team that everybody has been saying is going to be. Now, that's not saying they're not going to make the Super Bowl. In my opinion, I don't think they are, but it's a lot of people that do, guys. As far as Miami go, they need this win here. If they lose this game and the Chargers beat the Titans on Sunday, then the Miami Dolphins are going to fall into the 7th spot, guys. And I don't think they want that to happen. They're going to come here hungry after 2 beatdowns over the last couple weeks. I think this is a get-right spot for them. Upset alert here, in my opinion, guys, but I'm not going to pull the trigger on the upset, but I will be sprinkling a little bit on the Miami Dolphins plus the 7.5. I like the Dolphins to cover, Bills to win. On to the NFL Sunday slate, guys. We got the Detroit Lions traveling to New York to play the Jets. This is a pick game, guys, and this is a very tough one here. You got the Jets who've lost back-to-back games as well. They need a big win here. Hopefully, Mike White is the starting quarterback and not no damn Joe Flacco. If Joe Flacco is starting this game, it's no way in the hell I can back the Jets. Detroit coming off a big win over the Vikings. This is a perfect letdown spot here. I know Detroit is playing for their playoff lives, guys, but I don't have Detroit going to the playoffs. I think it's going to come down to Detroit and Green Bay in the last game of the season to determine who get that 7th and final spot in the NFC. So this game really won't hurt them that much. And like I said, I like the Jets here, guys. Very tough game, but I just see a letdown spot coming from Detroit after coming off that big win over their division rival, the Minnesota Vikings. Take the New York Jets. If Mike White is the quarterback, guys, take the New York Jets to win this game outright. Next up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Houston to play the Texans. Kansas City is a 14-point road favorite. And man, Kansas City just don't know how to cover big spreads. But, I mean, who hasn't been covering against Houston? Dallas didn't last week simply because they was coming off a huge cover of 11-point favorite over the Indianapolis Colts. You can't expect them to do it back-to-back weeks. But, man, Kansas City, this is a get-right game for Kansas City. They haven't been looking like the Kansas City that we're accustomed to seeing, guys. And here in this spot, though, I think this is a get-right spot. So if you can get this game to minus 13.5, I like the Kansas City Chiefs to win and cover because they're probably going to win this game right at 14 points, in my opinion, guys. There's no way I can back Houston here coming off an emotional game against the Cowboys, which they had them on the ropes, guys. This is a letdown spot for them here. I like the Kansas City Chiefs to win and cover if you can buy it down to 13.5. Next up, in my first official money pick for Sunday, guys, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers, a 2.5-point underdog, traveling to Charlotte to play the Panthers. And what can you say about Carolina, guys? We was on them with the cover. They pulled an upset last week as well over the Seahawks, but a big letdown from the Steelers last week that we kind of seen coming as well, guys, over the Ravens. Key stat that I wrote down for the Steelers. Pittsburgh, after beating the Ravens, Mike Tomlin is 6-12 against the spread. But after losing to the Baltimore Ravens like they did, they are 11-5 against the spread. Also, when they lose in the division like they did last week, and now they're underdog in the next game, listen to this. Mike Tomlin is 6-0 straight up, 6-0 against the spread. That's what's leading me to take Pittsburgh here, guys, as the money pick to beat the Carolina Panthers. Also, if they win this game, Pittsburgh will be 6-8 with a big showdown coming up against my Raiders, who I believe is going to be 6-8 as well. And that's going to be a big showdown because the loser of that game will be eliminated from the playoffs. But I have the Pittsburgh Steelers to win and cover. Second official money pick in this video. First official money pick for the Sunday slate of games. Next up, we got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Chicago to play the Bears. Chicago right now is an 8.5 point home underdog. And I know Chicago's coming off a bye, but the Philadelphia Eagles are rolling. They're clicking on all cylinders right now. There's no way I'm jumping in front of Philadelphia Eagles right now, guys. This could be a look ahead spot because they got Dallas on deck. But honestly, I don't think they're going to be looking ahead. With that, I like the Philadelphia Eagles to win and cover. Next game, and this game really means jack shit. We got the Atlanta Falcons, a 4 point underdog, traveling to New Orleans to play the Saints. Here in this game, it's tough, man, but you got to roll with Atlanta to cover. New Orleans most desperately need a win. They desperately need a win. And I think it comes here, guys. But I like Atlanta with the +4 simply because they benched Mariota. We're going to get Rilla here in this game, guys. And I think he's going to come in and make a couple good plays here, just enough to get the cover. But ultimately, guys, I think New Orleans get the win. Next up, I almost made this a money pick, guys, but we're not going to make it a money pick. But I really like this game. I'm probably going to have money on this game as well. We got the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Jacksonville to play the Jags. Right now, the Jaguars are a 4.5 point home underdog, and I like the Jaguars to cover this game, guys. And I'm tempted to pull the trigger on the Jaguars to pull the upset over the Cowboys, who's going to be without their starting tackle for the rest of the season, guys. But just check this out for 1 second. The Cowboys had the Eagles on deck. This is the perfect look ahead spot for the Cowboys here. And with the Jaguars, they got to win out. If they're going to make the playoffs, they got to win out, and they need some help from Tennessee losing a couple of more games. So that last meeting in the end of the season will come down to the Jags and Tennessee for the AFC South. That's the way I really see this playing out down the stretch, guys. And Jacksonville more desperately need this game. So pay attention to what happens, guys, because if the Jaguars somehow, some way defeat the Cowboys on Sunday, you got to roll with the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, not the Indianapolis Colts, but the LA Chargers to defeat the Tennessee Titans. That's really what I think is going to happen. So with that, I like the Jaguars to keep their momentum going, guys, in this game. Dallas, like I say, perfect look ahead spot. They got the Eagles on deck on Christmas Eve, guys. I'm going to roll with the Jags to win and cover this game. Call me crazy, but crazy things have happened in the NFL, and they're going to keep happening in the NFL. But I like the Jags to cover and possibly pull the upset. Next up, we got the Arizona Cardinals traveling Denver to play the Broncos. The line is set at 2.5 for the Broncos. Russell Wilson's out, Kyler Murray out. Who gives a damn about this game? You got to be a straight up degenerate gambler if you bet this game. Like, where's the value either side here? I'm not even picking this game. Next game, we got the New England Patriots, a 1.5 point road underdog, traveling to Las Vegas to play my Raiders. And guys, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. If it's ever a time you're gonna ride with Joe on this game right here. The Las Vegas Raiders will win and cover this game. Third official money pick in this video. Now, just go back to last season. The Raiders lost to Washington and then went on a tear for 4 straight games. I see the same scenario playing out here for the Raiders, guys. And we need a little bit of help. We need the Jets to lose 2 more games, which I think they would do. We need the Chargers to lose 2 more games, which I think they would do as well. And we have to beat New England. I really truly believe the Raiders are going to win these last 4 games down the stretch and get that 7th seed, guys, especially with the addition of Waller and Renfro coming back this week. It's going to be a great start here to win these last 4 games. Guys, this is going to be a 5-unit bet for me. I shouldn't be telling you guys that. I should have kept that to my Patreon people, but I want you guys to know how much I'm putting on the Raiders this week because this is a must-win game like never before. And somehow, some way, I believe the Raiders are going to get it done. And let's be honest, the New England Patriots offense really didn't look that good on Monday Night Football. The defense played solid, but let's be honest, this offense is horrible. The New England offensive line is horrible. And I think Max Crosby and Chandler Jones are going to have their way here in this game, guys. and a big game from Josh Jacobs is incoming as well. And with the additional Waller and Renfro, it's going to be all the difference these next 4 games down the stretch. I absolutely love my Raiders to win and cover. Third official money pick in this video. Next up, and this is a money pick as well, guys. We got the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers. Right now, Tampa Bay sits at a 3.5-point home underdog. And I'm riding with Tampa Bay here, guys. I'm riding with them. Bounce back spot. Nobody in the world wants to take Tampa Bay here in this spot, but I love them here. Cincinnati coming out with an emotional win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Bouncing back over a team they haven't beaten, the last couple seasons in the Cleveland Browns. This is a perfect letdown spot for them as well, guys. And let's face it, Tom Brady needs a get-right game. He needs a statement game, and I think this is it. This game will not hurt the Cincinnati Bengals if they lose, guys, and the Baltimore Ravens lose on Saturday, simply because it's going to set up a scenario where those two teams will fight it all out to the last game of the season, and the winner perhaps wins the division. Tampa Bay needs this win. All the money's coming in. It's piling up on Cincinnati here. And with Cincinnati having Buffalo on deck, yeah, I think that's a big look ahead right there. That's enough for me. Tampa Bay win and cover. That's my 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th official money pick in this video, guys. I love Tom Brady this week. I really do. Like I say, Cincinnati, just pay attention to what happened. If if Baltimore loses on Saturday, guys, I'm pretty sure Cincinnati is going to lose on Sunday, and that's going to set up a scenario right there, guys, for Cincinnati and Buffalo. The Week 16 game between those two teams will perhaps be for the number 1 seed in the AFC, guys. So keep that in mind when you're placing these bets during the week. Next up, we got the Tennessee Titans, a 3-point road underdog, traveling to LA to play the Chargers. Now, this is a tricky game as well, guys. Pay attention to what happens in the Jacksonville game, because if the Jaguars upset the Cowboys, then yeah, take the Chargers to defeat the Titans. But somehow, some way, if Dallas does beat the Jags, then you kind of got to like the Titans here, in my opinion, guys. But for video purposes right now, I'm rolling with the Chargers to win this game, but I'm not laying 3 points with the Chargers. This is a team that you want to back as an underdog. Anything over a field goal, I can't trust them, guys. So with that, I'm rolling with the Chargers as of right now. But like I say, whatever happens on early Sunday at the 1 o'clock game between the Cowboys and Jaguars may or may not make me change this pick, guys. Next up, we got Sunday Night Football. The New York Giants, 4.5-point underdog, traveling to Washington to play the Commandos. I like Washington to win this game. Giants will probably cover there. Keep it close, guys. Nobody's going to want to back the Giants, how they've been looking, especially last week over the Eagles. Washington is coming off a bye week. They're playing with a lot of house money here. They're playing for their playoff lives, and I think they keep it going. But in the end, I think the Giants will keep this game close. This is a field goal game either way, in my opinion. Next up, we got Monday Night Football. We got the LA Rams, 7.5-point road underdog, traveling to Green Bay to play the Packers, who's coming off a bye week. I think this is where the Packers get right, guys. But I believe the Rams will keep this game close. I think Baker Mayfield, be on the lookout for Baker Mayfield next year with these Rams, guys. Matt Stafford's job may be on the line. I'm not saying that because the Rams defeated my Raiders, but I really believe that Baker Mayfield is a pretty good quarterback, and in the right system, he will flourish, guys. And so don't be surprised, guys, if the Rams cover these spreads down the stretch and even pull an upset or two along the way. But here in this matchup, I like Green Bay to keep it going. I got Green Bay to win these next 4 games, guys. And somehow, some way, they going to get the 7th seed in the NFC. That's just my opinion. Let's see how it plays out, guys. But there's a lot of money and a lot of value here a lot of money to be made and a lot of value here on the board this week, and it's going to be for the next 4 weeks picking these games, guys. So all you got to do is just put your mind together, get your mind right, guys, and just, put together what you think is going to happen, guys, because it's a lot of ways this thing can play out, but I think I got it kind of mapped out perfectly, guys, who I think is going to get the 7th seed in the AFC, my Raiders, and the Green Bay Packers, because they're going to finish the season, I think, against Detroit or Minnesota, and they're going to need all 4 wins to get it done, and they're going to need a loss from Detroit along the way, and I think it's going to happen very soon. So with that, I'm going to recap all my money picks, guys. I got the Cleveland Browns, -2.5. Prefer it better on the money line, but I like it either way. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers plus the 2.5 and on the money line. I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers plus the 3.5 and on the money line. I love my Las Vegas Raiders -1, -1.5 money line as well. This is going to be a 5-unit special this week, guys. The Raiders are going to be a 5-unit special for me this week. I love them. And we're going to go ahead and make Jacksonville a money pick, guys. I like them plus the 4.5. I think they're going to win the game outright, guys. I really do. And if they do, be sure, guys, to take the Chargers over the Titans. But again, if the Jaguars fold, then the Titans may bounce back over the Chargers. And as a Raider fan, guys, I need the Chargers to lose 2 games. I don't think it's going to be this one. I think it's going to be the Colts on Monday night, the week after this game. And I think they're going to lose the last game of the season to the Denver Broncos, while the Raiders will win out and make the playoffs if the Chargers lose to Denver and one other team, which I expect to happen, guys. There you guys have it, man. Appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out to watch this video in its entirety. All my bets will be up on Patreon real soon, guys. I'm waiting on the Raiders-Patriots game to open up on my site before I start firing on most of these games. So be on the lookout for that. Again, appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the video. It's a lot of money about to be made. We're about to get all the Christmas money back, guys. Have a great week. Stay safe and be blessed. I'm out.